All right, 6th of February 2022, video number 11, and this is Roger's Hot Rod Garage, and of course this is Roger. Hey, so been working on this for probably about, I don't know, a couple of hours. I've got all my plastic hung up here, and looks pretty decent, and that's actually also where I hang my fishing poles, so it's kind of like a dual purpose thing. Right now I've got my little heater torch in here, getting the temperature up, and here's what it looks like in Roger's paint booth that I've converted over here right now to paint this 914 Porsche with an LS3 engine in it. I tell you what, most of you guys already know this, or gals. The painting phase of this actually probably takes no less than a half an hour, maybe 35 minutes, including all the spray time. But the prep work, oh man, the prep work is what's killing me here. Because all these little things here, you get one little detention right here, and I'm getting ready to hit this with the filler lock, or the I guess what do you call it? It's like a Bondo, but you spray it on. I don't know what you call that thing. It's a 2K spray. There's my other door, perfectly straight, and I've been sanding on this thing all the little cracks and crevices and cleaning it out with actual paint thinner. And now I'm going to take my silicone spray. Not silicone spray, but it's a silicone remover, and hit it one more time. And what I've been listening to a lot of guy named Brian from Paint Society, and I'm going to take some of the tips he uses. Now obviously this is not going to be a super professional job, it's not going to be like showroom quality, but I think I've taken enough precautions in here for this thing to actually be fairly dust free. There's my little evacuation system right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the button on the garage, raise it up about right here, and that'll blow all the air out of here. It's actually a cold, blustery, rainy day outside, so I picked today, although it's cold outside, to paint, simply because I don't have to worry about overspray on the outside. All the cars, of course, are moved, but everything's wet outside, so if it does land on something, it's not going to stick. And here's my new DeFilbus paint gun. I just actually read it. I put the 1.8 millimeter needle seat in here, and that's what I'm going to spray my primer sealer with today, my 2K primer sealer. Got everything set up over here, got my air pressure and my water, I guess water Inferno. I keep getting mixed up with the German words, but this basically pulls the water particles out of my line. And in case you're wondering, it's kind of warm in here. The temperature is up to about 25 Celsius, which is about 80 degrees, maybe 85 degrees. So I'm going to cut the heat off, of course, and then spray the primer sealer, and then I'll come back with a little bit of time-lapse stuff when I actually paint the rest of the car. All right, take care, bye-bye. So 2 days later, not that it took the stuff this long to dry, but I got this thing called a job I got to go to. So what I did right here is just paint the whole thing with that epoxy 2K. I cell phoned it, but it's not a big deal. And what you have right here is only put it basically on the spots that need to be super smooth. So right here, baby butt smooth. I already sanded this with 600 grit paper. And then right here, hold on so you can hear this. There I haven't sanded yet. It's almost like eggshell rough right here, baby butt smooth right here. I know you can't see that. And again, the main part of this is where the car is smooth. That's going to be the underlying coat where the base coat, clear coat sits. All of this is smooth. Well, I didn't paint in here. I'm not going to waste expensive paint on something that that already has paint on it, and I'm going to cover it up with carpet and Dynamat anyway. Same thing right here, except for this little piece right here. That's going to be exposed. Carpet's going to go here. Carpet's going to go here. Bada bam, and that'll be done. And then here are my doors. I went to the local Bauhaus today, picked myself up this wire right here. 2.2 millimeters, 10 meters of stuff. I'm going to hang my doors from right here over to there, because you obviously want to paint those in the same orientation that you have the car. Ideally would be to have the door hung on there, but then I can't do my jambs nice and neat like I want to. So, and what I'm doing right now is, this is 600 grit paper, 600 grit, and this is kind of a nasty job, but I got my warm bucket of water down here. See, it's steaming. And then basically just back and forth right here. And then you'll tell, you hear that sound? That's actually fairly smooth already. And you pour water on here. Don't care, because all this plastic is going to disappear anyway. And then what I do is I take my finger and I rub it on here, and it's super smooth right now. A little bit rough right there, so I'll just hit this area right here. And again, you're just taking off like microns or a quarter of a millimeter, so mixing a little bit of SAE in with metric. Anyway, next thing you'll see is probably me painting on the weekend. Again, I've got, it's Tuesday evening, I got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to just do the hand sanding, which is kind of tedious but very satisfying. And then I'll be painting next, okay? So take care, bye-bye. Moment of truth here, we got Saturday. I've got everything wet, dry, sanded down, and I'm just looking for little bitty nibs or nubs right there. And I just basically took some 600 paper and put that down. But this thing is baby butt smooth. I've got everything ready to go. It's nice and warm in here. I got about 25 Celsius. For you folks in the United States of America, that's about 80 degrees. And everything is ready to go. I got my tack cloth, doing my final cuts on it and getting all the little dust particles off, which I don't think I have. I got water all over the floor here, plastic. I just cut my heat off and I think I'm ready to go. I'm gonna mount this camera up there and do some time-lapse photography. All right, man, here we go. All right, so I sprayed the silver on right now. This is the base coat of the 2022 Porsche GT Silver, as they call it, Sport Silver. And I must say, it actually turned out really, really good. Everything's flat. I even went ahead and did all of the arches in here, the wheel arches. So that's all painted silver, and I'll be spraying 2K in here in about an hour. Unfortunately, it's about 46 degrees outside. So what I've got to do is I cut on my space heater here. You've seen that before. And heat the garage up and, of course, cut that off. Spray, and then as soon as everything tacks up a little bit, I'll do the color on it. But absolutely happy with the results so far. I actually like the matte color on here. My son said I should keep it that way, but the problem is this is not 2K. But that actually could have been an option if I'd have thought about it earlier. But again, I wanted shiny. This is not supposed to be a modern looking car. It's supposed to be original looking. The doors turned out absolutely great. Super smooth, no runs on the flat. And I've got my headlight covers here. Those are also covered. They went super smooth. And then I've got my air inlet down here. It's also painted silver. And then, of course, my trunk lid, which is kind of like in front of the trunk. And that's about it. So I'm going to be heating this thing up now and painting it in a couple of minutes with the clear. And then the last portion of this video, you'll see me actually with the gloss on it. Man, Roger here. So I ran out of a memory card because I had this camera that I'm filming with right up here, and I was running constantly. But anyway, long story short, what you see here is a 1971 Porsche 914 with a wide body kit on it, and I'm super stoked about how this turned out. Absolutely super paint job as far as the 2 clear coats. Some might say 3 coats, but I think it's more like 2. Check this out, man. Super smooth right here. Now when you do feel over here, you can't hear that, but I got a couple little nubs in here, or nibs I think is what a guy named Brian from Paint Society calls it. I will polish those out of there with no issue whatsoever. Really excited about this. I mean, even all this is perfectly smooth. Check this out right here. I'm really happy about that. And again, I just mentioned a guy named Brian from Paint Society. I've been watching his videos now. I think he's out of Florida. But man, check this thing out with the clear coat and the silver base coat that had really turned out nice. There's me right here. I can't actually show my whole body here because I'm wearing my fashion statement. That's long johns and Doc Martens not laced up. I'm not trying to make a fashion statement here, but anyway. But check this out. Back to the paint right here. This was painted probably about 4, 5, 6 hours ago. And what I did is I ran my heater over here. and got this thing pretty well hot, and then I went ahead and pulled all of the plastic now. There's one pile of plastic, 3mm plastic. There's more 3mm plastic over there in the corner. I'm gonna do a nice job of folding that stuff up, and then that's where I had it hooked up here, but you saw that. But check this door out, for example. I mean, the door was hanging here the whole time on this little hanger mechanism. I kind of like got going all the way up to the ceiling, and man, this thing turned out good. You can even see my little bald head up in here if you look really close. Man, super stoked about the door. Everything turned out really, really nice up in here. Got no runs. The back side of right here is what you really don't see unless you open up the door, the jambs. Everything in here is painted. My speaker mounts are already in here. My tweeter mounts are right here. Same thing with the other door. I'll just go around the car one more time. Hood's okay. I've got some nibs in there, but I'm going to be taking a look at that. The door jambs actually turned out super. Again, really, really happy the way this thing turned out. I'm using TriStar paints, and I order that stuff online. Like, take a look at this right here. I don't think I can get any shiner right here. Now, it's not perfect. You see little bitty, I guess just a little bit of orange peel. What would that be? It's actually not orange peel. It's paint underneath the clear coat that didn't quite come out smooth. But the good thing is I got all of my I guess running or gutters pretty well taken care of. All this turned out nice. This right here you won't see because I'm going to put carpet right here, carpet right down here. So this piece I kind of concentrated on. And moving down over here, the entire interior engine compartment is done. So all that's kind of like 2K'd and ready to flip the engine back in here from the bottom, of course. And again, all this stuff just turned out super nice up in here, nice and smooth. And then here, again, I got a couple of these little nibs up in here, but I'll polish those out, and I really don't care because this right here is going to get that vinyl covering on it anyway, which I ordered from 914rubber.com. No, I did not paint it in here. I just laid it in here earlier today when it was kind of like dried up, and that's the rear valence for the engine cover. Again, same thing right here, super smooth. And check this out. I mean, I kind of think I actually took this to a professional paint job right here. So I'm not bragging, but man, this turned out really, really good. So I got lucky because by no means, shape, or form, or fashion am I any kind of professional painter here. But I have probably painted, this is probably car number 15, maybe 20 in my life. Anyway, all this stuff turned out okay in here. Now, I just noticed this myself while I'm filming this. This is not water. This is actually clear coat hardener. Don't care. I've actually got my water sits right here, and that's how much stuff I poured up in here as far as the clear coat is concerned. Again, this is good. And let me just bring you around to the front right here. This thing turned out absolutely smooth, nice and clear. And the same thing in here. Again, these are my headlight covers. I just laid them in here so I wouldn't be tripping on them when I took it off today. And then check this out, this little piece right here. Again, this is the VIN number. I sanded it down super smooth, took some flat black paint, rubbed my finger on it, sanded it smooth again with some like 1000 grit paper, then covered it, then sprayed my base on it, took the tape off, and then put the clear on top of that. So now you can see exactly what the VIN number for this 1971 Porsche is with the wide body kit. But anyway, super stoked. This thing turned out great. So signing off for video number 11, Sunday night, February 2022. Take care. Bye-bye.